I'm telling it online first, too. Okay, so in my dream, I was at this school, and there was a teacher there. So the teacher at the school was Hosey Bean. He was Hosey or Andrew. He was a teacher at the school, which is kind of like a hospital school or whatever. And I was went to go talk to him, but then I was standing outside because I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna go in. Like I'm gonna actually stay outside. And I went to go turn around, and he goes, Z, come in. And I was like, oh gosh, he sees me standing out here. Just, you know. So I get into the classroom, and he's preparing for another lesson. He's making these clay molds um of like these little, I think, tigers. So he puts them in. He tells me how to do it. He tells me to like take the clay out of the thing and put it in the mold, and just make as many as I can for tomorrow's class. Well, so I go and I get the clay out of the thing, and I put it in, and I was like, is this big? If this big enough?
The classroom is closed.
Yeah, this is after class. Everyone's gone home and stuff. So there's nobody in the class. So I go and I put the mold in there, and then he starts asking me questions. So he goes, so what does your name mean? Like, Zanisha, what does that mean? I said, oh, it means night flower. And I said, it means flower that only blossoms at night. So, and then I make a giggle to myself, not like directed at him. And I said, flower that only blossoms at night. And I go, it's a, it's a, it's a wonderful view, because I was saying, like when I blossom at night, in my orgasmic energy, it's like a glowing biome. It's beautiful. But I wasn't like saying it to him. I was just saying in general. And he goes, that's a beautiful name, and I'm like, thanks. And then he had cut his hair in the dream, and his hair was short, and I go, he's still the same old Hosey to me. It was so cute. Oh, hey, Nova. I go, he still looked like the same old Hosey to me, even with your haircut. He really short. I was like, your work really has changed my like outlook on a lot of things. And, I was like, thank you for your hard work in music and stuff. Anyway, after that, I got a little bit nervous, and I was like, that was fun. I'm going to head out or whatever. I have some work to do. Okay, I'm going to finish. So then, before I stop, I head to the cancer ward. Well, I didn't head to it, but it's an emergency department in this in this um in this school/hospital thing. Oh my gosh, Angel. Seriously? It's 11 o'clock. Wake up. Almost noon. Hold on, let me get off of this. I'm not gonna go anywhere I want. So I end up at the the chronic ill section of the hospital. So they're in this chronic ill section of the hospital. There is all the people that I've ever saw constantly at the ER. So, you know, there was this old guy, he lost his wife, and he was there. I was like, yo, what are you doing here, dude? I was like, how is your, you know, did you have another issue? Because he's at the ER. And then there was a lady that has always been in the ER. Whenever we all get sick and chronic, we all go to the ER together. I was like, what are you guys all doing here? And then I was like, oh yeah, I'm not sick this time, but it's crazy that I see all of you guys, the chronically ill crew, in, you know, this part of the hospital wing. I was like, I'm working on a cure for cancer and a bunch of other stuff. I was like, they said, okay, how your research is going? I said, oh, perfect. I said, I found a cure, but I'm working on a paper. So I said, how it works is you can only extract the essence from this flower at night, and it has to be glowing at that time in order for me to extract it from the biome in a cave. So like this dark cave with mushrooms and other types of like glow in the dark plant life. And I found out that well, I'm doing the work in my dream, obviously. I told all of the chronically ill girlies and guys, I told them that I was working on this plant, but I can only extract it at night from this cave. And I said, based on when you eat it, you can either vomit the cancer out, or it could go out your butt. You know, however, it's like depending on the cancer, that expellation, you know, whatever you throw up, or the cancer comes out of the vomit. The cancer comes out of the, you know, excrement. And I was like, so I'm working on it depending on the type of cancer. And I'm writing a paper and I'm going to present it to my professor. And they were all like, oh, you're so amazing. You're so good. I was like, I'm good. You guys are fighting cancer. You guys are fighting chronic illness. I was like, we always wind up in the ER together. I was like, but this time it ain't me, guys. But I'm praying for you. I'm working on it. One of the girl goes, the ladies who's like, she's an older lady, and she's like, she told me, she goes, he finally read all your letters. I was like, what? Yeah, all hundreds of them. He just now, you know, started looking into it. I was like, oh, yeah, I just met with him not too long ago. You know, how is he? You know, he's in the classroom. Oh, he's like, oh, we know. And I was like, did you see he cut his hair? They were like, yeah, he cut it. He doesn't wear his hair during the day. I was like, oh, you guys know all of my life. And then a nurse came up to me and goes, oh, you know everybody's name? Oh, I said, no, I don't remember names too well, but I was like, I remember the diagnosis. I was like, he got diagnosed in 2006 with cancer. He's still around. His wife died, but he's still kicking through this cancer. Oh, she got diagnosed in 1996. She's still going. She's been chronic since the beginning. And I went through everybody's diagnosis and how I know them from their cancer diagnosis. And then I was telling the nurse, I was like, I'm working on this cure. And I went over the whole spiel again. Anyway, I was like, okay, guys, I gotta go. And so I leave the, you know, wing of the school that's for the ER. And I'm walking outside, and I was like, Mother Mary, I was like, Mother Mary, I need to talk to you. And I did this thing, like in my head, and I clicked, and I was like, Mother Mary, I have to talk to you. And she was like, hey, Elsie B, what are you doing here? Hi, Elsie. What are you doing? But the girl, um, okay, there was a girl who was outside and she was like, listen to this song and tell me if you feel your auric field vibrating. And she played the song and she was so hype about it. And I was like, it's a good song, but it's all depending on how you feel about it. And so I, what else happened? I leave the school to go for my car and I didn't bring my keys. I only brought a lighter. There was something, oh, I was talking to Mother Mary in my dream. I was like, you'll never guess what happened. You'll never guess. And she said, oh, you ran into, Andrew. I was like, yeah. But I got to talk, I was talking to Mother Mary in my dreams. Hi, Hawthorne. Look at my Hawthorne. Look at my baby. Hi, Hawthorne. It's a little native bird hopping around. So at the end of the dream, I had to go find my car, and I was hoping that nobody towed it because I was in there till nighttime, helping out with the patients and talking to Andrew, and it was such uh, a wild dream. I loved it. It was such a good dream, and seeing all my people, my chronically ill people. One of them I said, "Look at the chronically ill crew." When I'm not chronically ill. I just got a little issue. No, I'm not chronic. I was like, I'm sorry. I just was just trying to make us a crew, like survivors.